Cold Open, the name you never learned. Who wrote your favorite pop song? Not who sang it, not who danced to it on stage, not whose face was on the album cover. Who wrote it? If you're like most Americans, you don't know. And that's not a coincidence. Behind nearly every song that ever blasted from a car radio, filled a high school gym, or soundtracked a breakup in a small-town bedroom, there's a name you never learned. A person who didn't chase fame, but shaped it. Tonight, we're telling the story of those people, the unseen architects, the quiet craftsmen, the American songwriters who built pop music from the shadows. I'm Clyde Chester, and this is a hidden chapter of the history of the United States, told one song at a time. To understand American pop music, we don't start in Hollywood. We start in New York City around the turn of the 20th century, in a few crowded blocks between 5th and 6th Avenue. This neighborhood was called Tin Pan Alley. You didn't hear records here, you heard pianos. Row after row of songwriters sat in cramped offices, pounding out melodies, while singers belted lyrics for publishers walking door to door. These writers weren't celebrities, they were working-class Americans, many of them immigrants or first-generation kids, turning the rhythms of city life into music anyone could hum. Irving Berlin, George Gershwin, Cole Porter. Before American pop had stars, it had songs, and the songwriter was king. Then something changed. Radio arrived, records became cheap. Hollywood learned how to sell charisma. By the 1940s and 50s, Americans didn't just want songs, they wanted stars. Frank Sinatra, Elvis Presley, later, the Beach Boys, the Supremes, the Beatles, and slowly, deliberately, the industry moved the spotlight. The songwriter stepped back, the performer stepped forward. Most Americans never noticed the switch, but the business never looked back. If Tin Pan Alley was the birthplace, then the Brill Building was the assembly line. Located at 1619 Broadway, right in the heart of Manhattan, this unassuming building produced more hits than most record labels ever would. Inside, young songwriters worked 9-to-5 jobs, writing music like factory workers, sometimes 3 songs a day. This is where we meet people like Carole King, Jerry Goffin, Neil Sedaka, Cynthia, Weil, Barry Mann. They wrote songs for other people to sing. You've Got a Friend. Will You Love Me Tomorrow? On Broadway. These weren't just hits. They were emotional blueprints for American life. Love, heartbreak, ambition, written by people barely out of their 20s, and most listeners never knew their names. Now we go west, to Detroit, Michigan. Motown wasn't just a label, it was a system. Berry Gordy believed in something radical. Songs should be written by committee. Behind every Motown hit was a team. Holland Dozier Holland, Smokey Robinson, Norman Whitfield. They wrote for the Supremes, Marvin Gaye. The Temptations' Motown songwriters captured the sound of Black America during a time of massive change, civil rights, migration, and cultural pride. These writers weren't just making music, they were shaping how America felt. By the late 1960s, something shifted again. In Laurel Canyon above Los Angeles, songwriters started singing their own work. Joni Mitchell, James Taylor, Jackson Browne. This era made people believe the songwriter and the performer were finally the same person. But behind the scenes, the old system never disappeared. It just evolved. By the time MTV arrived, image ruled everything. But behind the synthesizers and hairspray, a new generation of unseen writers took over American pop. People like Diane Warren, Desmond Child, Max Martin, working closely with U.S. labels. Diane Warren alone wrote songs for Aerosmith, Celine, Dion, Whitney Houston, Toni Braxton. You know the songs, you don't know her face. That was by design. Why didn't we learn their names? Because the industry didn't want us to. Stars sell posters. Stars sell tours. Stars sell fantasy. Songwriters sold songs. And in America, success doesn't always come with recognition, especially if you're behind the curtain. Many of these writers lived quiet lives. Some struggled financially. Some never performed live. Some watched others become famous singing their words. But their fingerprints are everywhere, at weddings, at funerals, on road trips, in memories. American pop isn't built on fame, it's built on craft. Today, Nashville, New York, and Los Angeles still run on unseen writers. Streaming changed the math, but not the truth. Every viral hit still starts the same way. Someone alone in a room, a melody, a lyric, an idea. Just like Tin Pan Alley, just like the Brill Building, just like Motown. So the next time a song hits you right in the chest, ask yourself, who put those words together? Who shaped that feeling? Chances are it was someone you've never heard of. And that's the story of American pop. I'm Clyde Chester, and this has been another hidden chapter in the history of the United States.